Today on the table, we have a Smith and Wesson Model 10. Now, if you remember, I've made a few videos before. We did the very first Model 10 video I made was just a standard Model 10, 4-inch barrel, blue finish. That one was from around the mid-50s. And then I did a Victory model and then an M&P model. Well, over the weekend, when you saw with my Glock video yesterday, I was able to pick up this nickel Model 10-6. And now this is actually heavy barrel. So we can show you here. So this is the barrel on this is much heavier than the barrel on, the standard Model 10s, where it actually gets a little bit thinner here and then it's just thin throughout. But these are, you can see even just how beefy the barrel is here at the end on it as well. The Model 10s, they came in the blue finish and this nickel finish, and obviously they came in multiple different lengths. I don't know on the heavy barrels. I think they only made a 4 and a 6-inch on a heavy barrel. There was no snub noses or anything like that. They do have snub noses in a blued finish and a nickel finish, but I think they're just the standard barrel when you get those. I'm looking for a snub nose Model 10 in a blue finish, but those are pretty tough to come by because you can get them in a 2 and a 2 1/4 inch barrel, depending on what year they are. This one is a Model 10-6. You can see here, and obviously it's not loaded. But right there, I'm not sure if you can see, it's right there. It says Model 10-6 in there. This one would have been then probably like right around the late 60s because it is still a pinned barrel, which is nice. As a collector, I always try to make sure I have, the revolvers that were made better during the time period where they were still pinning their barrels. It is a 6-shot 38 special. And again, I think I mentioned before that they only did a nickel finish and a blued finish. The stainless steel was actually a different model. So there is a stainless steel version, but it's a different model. But this one is obviously, as you can see here, based on the grips that it has, the handle goes all the way through to the grips. So it doesn't have the oversized grips like the more targeted grips. This has the more standard grips on it. And this one looks like it has like a notch, or somebody must have chipped something out so they could get their thumb in there a little bit easier. But either way, that was fine with me with purchasing them. It still has its original grips on it. And there isn't as much corrosion here where the main screw is here to hold the grip on. It's in great working order. As you can see, as a standard Smith and Wesson, it rotates counterclockwise versus Colts that rotate clockwise. But yeah, just a super cool. I will actually take this out to shoot. It does have its standard, notch sight here, and then it has a little bit beefier of a sight here in the front. You're not getting like the half moon sight or anything like that. You actually get this nice like slanted sight with like ridges on it, just because the barrel is so thick. But it is super cool. It's really shiny in person, and there's actually, if you look here, since now my fingerprints on it, there is very minimal marks on it. It has a light ring on its cylinder, but for being the most popular and most common revolver ever made, they are still super cool. And because again, Smith and Wesson Model 10s from 1898 or so up until now, that is the most popular revolver that's ever been made. And obviously they've made the most of them. I think it's 8 or 9 million now. And they're still making them, so that number is going to keep going up. But anyways, I just wanted to show you, this is the one that I picked up over the weekend when I had bought that Glock where you saw in the video yesterday. So, and I bought a few others, and we'll go over those here later this week as well. But anyways, here's a nickel Smith & Wesson Model 10-6 with a heavy barrel. If you got one, let me know in the comments. You can even email me because my contact information's on the main page. So if you have one you want to show me, feel free to send it over.